Hi, Dawn. Thank you so much for joining. I'd like to start off by having you introduce yourself to us and just letting us know why you joined TranQool.
Hi, I'm Dawn Zivanovich. I'm a registered social worker and a certified EMDR therapist. And I've joined TranQool because I think that people need a platform where they can access counseling and services for anxiety and depression and various disorders right at their fingertips.
So, Dawn, what kind of problems do you help people with? Like, what are your specialties?
The things that people usually come for is like stress. They're either stressed with work or they're stressed in their relationships. But the top things that I help people with is anxiety and depression and trauma. So if they've had specific traumatic incidents happen in their life and they're having difficulty overcoming those traumatic incidents or distressing memories, those are my specialties.
So, Dawn, what would you say are the benefits of doing cognitive behavioral therapy in specific?
Cognitive behavioral therapy specifically helps people to gain a different perspective because it helps you to look at your thoughts and your emotions and your behaviors and how they all tie together and work together to create what we call twisted thinking. So the therapist and CBT helps you to unravel that twisted thinking and start to look at things in a different way, in a more rational, logical perspective. So those are really the main things. It helps you find alternative ways of thinking and feeling and behaving.
So, a lot of times, people talk about stigma and the fact that they don't seek therapy because they're not really open to having a label put on themselves. They don't like to be called depressed or anxious. And what do you think? What are your advice for people like that? People who aren't really sure they're depressed and they're not willing to reach out and seek help.
Really, in this day and age, I think there is still a stigma around mental health issues, but there's everyone needs help every now and then getting through life's challenges. And really, it's about strengthening your own coping skills and learning how to deal with life. No one is perfect. No person has all the skills to go through dealing with the challenges of work stress, and sometimes there's illness and death even that happens in families. And it's very difficult. So I guess what I would say is that you have to think that there's no shame in reaching out for help. If you were sick, if you had a cold or the flu, or you were really feeling bad, you would go to your doctor for that. And so it's sort of like the same thing. If you're chronically sad or angry, you should think of it as the same way, that it's okay to go and ask for help, that really you deserve it.
So, Dawn, I know you have a background in treating anxiety. What would you say the benefits of doing CBT for someone who is anxious are?
Well, again, CBT helps you to dissect what's going on with you so that you can pay attention and become aware, become mindful of how your thoughts then lead you to feel a certain way and then behave in maybe a negative way, avoiding things. So what CBT does is it teaches you coping skills and strategies, and it helps you in that way. When you apply the new skills that you learn, it helps you to gain confidence. It improves your self-esteem. And with repetition and with being mindful and aware and just constantly using the skills, the tools in CBT, the repetition, again, helps you to learn, and it gets ingrained in your brain. Basically, it's like exercise. If you do it enough, your body learns. It's like a physical thing. If you don't ski for a couple of years, if you go out skiing again, your body remembers, and your brain does too. So it's like exercising your brain. And if you do this on a continual basis, it really does help to improve things, and it helps your brain to be healthier and happier. Thing you have to exercise your mental muscle the same as you would your arms or your abs. You have to do it, and you have to do it on a continual basis. So part of it is, that mindfulness that everyone is talking about, and being aware of, what am I thinking? What's going on? How is that making me feel? And then trying to switch it up, change it around.
Why do you think people should use TranQool? I mean, compared to either self-help or going in, how is this any different?
The difference is that you don't have to have any kind of um, accountability when you're using an app. People have books and apps, but they don't really use them on a consistent basis. If you're speaking with a therapist on a regular basis, there's accountability and responsibility. And the therapist helps to support and coach you and find out exactly where is it not working? Where are you falling down in your goal to be less anxious or less stressed? So, again, it's that kind of like that outside eye that sees where aren't things working. And the therapist will do that in a kind and gentle way.